just give a bit of an overview of where the teams come from, where we are and where we're going?
For me, it's about creating that longevity for Wales national counties to be a real force.
What has been your journey to get into the Wales national county squad?
A long one. I started playing back home in Pembrokeshire, well, years ago. Had a couple of good seasons at senior level and got picked up at Ammanford and went there and had a couple of good seasons and luckily got a chance to play and open a batting where I'd done okay. I had one game and I got, I think, a 48 and not many, but I think I'd done enough in the first innings to warrant a training place and then done okay and got another shot at it year after. Not many people, well, from Pembrokeshire you won't get picked as a national county player from there. You have to sort of step up the levels to Premier League cricket to get in, which is quite a tricky thing to do because it is a big jump. But some people do it and some people don't. My ambition's probably not to be a professional, like I'm probably past that boat now, but to be the best minor county player I can or NCCA player I can and hopefully get a few hundreds under my belt and help the team do well.
Look, I think we are the only one, if not, there might be one other county, national county, that's not won anything in, since the entire minor county, the old minor counties and now the national counties has been in fruition. So, that's something we want to change. But I think for too long, Wales has been seen on other teams' agenda and fixture list as Wales away. That's one we can really kind of target as a win. And we wanted to change that mentality of what other teams perceive us as.
Blackburn. I hope you're not videoing this. He's got it. These are the outtakes.
I think us as a leadership group, Brad, Cam and myself, I love our leadership group. I think it's something I'm really proud of at the moment in terms of where we've got that to. And I suppose the big things for us is I have my ideas of how I want to bring the team forward from probably a bigger picture and strategic point of view, and I know Brad shares a lot of that, but it has to be player-led. It can't be me forcing, I think we should do that, or I think we should do that. I try and influence and I try and steer things in the direction of travel I think they should go, but ultimately it has to be the players and the guys owning that space. It has to be. That's the only way it kind of buy in or whatever kind of buzzword you want to use around that. It has to. The boys have to feel like it's their team and they can shape it in the way they want. So I think that comes from getting the right people in the right places. Generally, we tend to be on the same page a lot, which is healthy. I think if we're always on different pages, I'm not sure if that's a dynamic you want. But we clash and we have different views, and as I say, we will always have slightly different perspectives on what we think certain players bring, what roles they bring, balance of the side. And we've had those in the last couple of years where there's been one or two really, really interesting calls, and maybe it might be me, I would go that way, and I think pretty strongly that should be the way it goes. Brad might have a different view and Cam might have a different view. I'm a big believer that it should be Cameron as captain or Sam who's captain in another format. The captain needs to be comfortable with what the team is out on the field. So I'm a big believer that the captain should have a very big say in what team that they want to put out in the park. I'm really proud of how Cam in particular has stepped up to that leadership role in recent years. He led from the front on the pitch last year in his performances, more so than I thought he would. But also the messages that he tries to get across to the lads, him and Brad complement each other really, really well.
a lot of lads that I'd never met before, and I think there was a lot of, you see the group's really young, a lot of under 22s, under 23s, and it's been amazing to see. You can create an environment where people feel comfortable at any level, whether that's at the top test match cricket, international cricket, or your under sevens at your club. If you can make people feel comfortable and able to give their best, I think that's one heck of an attribute to have as a coach. And I say he leads by examples. On day one, he stayed behind doing shuttle runs. I'm not sure if everyone noticed, but a few of the players yesterday, when they could have just been hanging around kicking their feet up, a couple of them did some sprints, and I think that's a knock-on effect. He sort of leads by example. It doesn't ram that down everyone's throats. It wasn't, hey, I'm staying here doing sprints. Look at me. It was just that quiet leadership.
Harry interview when he was being interviewed abroad. Where was he? He was in the army. Suddenly it was like ripped the mics off.
That'll be you.
Yeah. It's good within the squad because there's no hostility. There's none of that in terms of competition. None of us are on each other's backs about anything. But there's always that thing in the back of your mind where you want to be bowling well. You want to be doing your best every single net session just to make sure that you're maybe a step ahead of someone else.
And what about personal rivalries with guys in the squad? Like, do you look forward to seeing someone else on?
I mean, Brad's a great player, so I always like coming up against Brad, trying to get him out all the time. I think Friendly's another one at Newport that is one that I'd always like to have out. You know, scored a brilliant 80 just now. So those two are the two, as batters, that I'd want to bowl against. Those are the two that I look forward to bowling against the most. It's always been a goal of mine to reach as high level as I can, be the best cricketer that I can be. I think playing minor county cricket is a step in the right direction. I think coming in, you know, like you said, being a young guy, I was a bit cautious coming in, but actually the older guys have made me feel really welcome, helped me settle in brilliantly, and you know, makes me feel like I can express who I am and my skills and show how good I can be. There's constant communication between batters and bowlers. I think you're always giving feedback to one another, and so it might not be that someone pulls you aside and has a conversation with you. It's even just when batsmen are swapping, they'll come and speak to the bowlers about what lengths they're bowling, the line, what they can do better, what's going really well. And lots of the time it's really positive, but it's also really, really helpful to receive that feedback where you can do this better. There's a big feeling within the team that Red Bull is going to be our strong team this year, and so winning games of cricket, challenging the top other counties would be where I'd like to see us, and just progressing as a cricketer. I think minor counties cricket is, like I said, a step in the right direction. You know, it's another standard which is upper level. So just holding my own, trying to bring out good performances, and staying fit. Yeah.
Trophy round, picture round, all or nothing. Spinach fans. You've got sporting equations, you've got mystery guest, a logo round, and then quick fire round to finish. How have you formed the Switzerland football team? Yeah! I can have two. Yes!
it's about creating that longevity for Wales national counties to be a real force. And yeah, ideally for me personally I'm here for three years. So in that 3-year period, we got obviously the 3 competitions. I want to try and win competitions. I'm not here to sort of take part and be involved, or lost, but I want to win every game I play, whether it's a friendly, midweek game, Saturday game, Sunday game. I want to win. So I think that group of players, they know it as well. They know that I'm passionate about coaching and making them better, but ultimately I want to win games.
There's not one person who's probably come away from going, oh, I didn't enjoy that. I think everyone you look around, there's probably people who've not spoken to each other and didn't know each other before the trip, but then now they might play against each other in the season, or they might play in the same team. It's going to be, oh, do you remember that trip to Manga? That was awesome. And people are going to want to play. I think we've spun it around in the last couple of years where it's really the emphasis on, I want to play for Wales now, because they're doing well and it's a good environment. Everyone I speak to is saying, oh, I really enjoyed playing. And it's a good environment to be in, and I want to push myself to either get there or go to the next level, which is ultimately what this kind of stand is for, is either to push and go to the next level, or it's when this might be the best cricket you're going to play. So it's actually feeling comfortable and performing and wanting to do that for the next 5-10 years.
It's done everything we wanted it to do, both on a cricketing level and from the team dynamics point of view. And it's just left us with more clarity and more opportunity. The lads have had more opportunity to show what they can do. Any young player will tell you all they want to feel like the coach cares about them. They feel valued within the group, and they feel like they know where they stand. I think a combination of those 3 things in any sport, in any team, pathway, atmosphere, whatever it is, you obviously want to play. Sometimes you can't, but at least if you know what you have to do or what the reasoning is behind things, I think that's something Brad and I think us as a leadership group, we're really big on. And we are now at a point where we're going to have a lot of really tough decisions to make, and we are going to have a lot of disappointed players, which is a great problem to have, and probably not a problem we had a number of years ago. But it is something that we're really big on, and I think I'm secretly quite proud of, that we do communicate reasonably well with our players, and people do know what our thought process is, why we've gone a certain way. And then when someone does make their way into the team, they feel supported and they feel backed. And there's 2 or 3 examples you can name easily of players who have been in that boat and are reaping the rewards from that right now, I think.